Okay, so doing another reaction video to another hero, I would say, someone who woke up and quit their freaking job. This one says, "I quit my warehouse job of 12 years. Hard work gets you nowhere." That's the truth right there. That before I start the video, I'm just gonna say that that is true. Hard work, unless it's for yourself, like your own company, it don't get you nowhere. It just gives you more hard work. If you really want to get somewhere, honestly, just being real, you gotta be born rich, or a little bit be really lucky, like great genetics, freaking I don't know, just great career opportunities that just happen. You were at the right place, right time, or what other people, pretty much everybody else does, is screw people over by stealing or cheating or doing something to give you an edge. That'll do way more than being a hard worker. And that's just being honest. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that's the truth.
So the quick answer as to how I left my warehouse distribution center job is, for the last couple of years before I put my 2 weeks in, I planned my escape behind the scenes really quietly without anybody knowing. I got my home right,
It reminds me of me.
my finances right, got all my debt paid off, stacked a lot of money, and had something on the side prepared before I put my 2 weeks in. And nobody knew. I didn't tell a single soul until HR 2 weeks before I quit.
And you know what? He's being nice about it. He could have just not showed up anymore.
I was at my warehouse distribution center job for almost 12 years. Started in 2010. And at that time, that was a pretty good job. It was a good work environment, even though I was still loading trailers. What I was doing was I was in shipping department my entire 12 years. Loading trailers full of product to be sent out to stores.
Are these pans actually
No.
non-stick? I have the same thought as you. How can a stainless steel pan be non-stick?
Well, about year 6 into it, I ended up staying in shipping, but
And commercials got you. Sorry.
I put in a driving position to get on a forklift in a reach trailer or reach truck. So my last 6 remaining years with the company, I was a forklift operator in shipping department. Again, it was okay about year 6, but I started to see a heavy decline when management started changing, when HR started changing, and the company got bought out by another company. Now, the job was still secure, more or less, regardless. This company's been around since the early 1900s.
Well, I'm just gonna guess. He put a lot of hard work, and he was a model employee. Then got some new bosses, and he has to start from scratch, is what I'm gonna assume.
So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. However, I quickly realized that the new management didn't give a shit about the team members and didn't give a shit about anything about kissing ass to corporate, which, I mean, should be relatively common sense about any job, right? But it's kind of, not easy to wrap your head around when this job you had for so long was a good job, right? It was a good job. It's not like I was going into a shitty job to begin with, where it was a toxic work environment. For half my time there, it was a good job. And then slowly but surely, management crept in and started allowing really bad members to get away with a bunch of shit. Now, I'm all for hard work. I'm all for downtime as well. You know, when you get your job done, you got a little bit of downtime. I'm cool with that. You know, I used to do the same thing. But the job always had to get done. And the unfortunate thing about it is that the new management that crept into this warehouse, into this distribution center, was so toxic that they would allow the lazy people to sit around on pallets, go for half-hour bathroom breaks, take longer regular breaks, just disappear off the floor, go talk to random girls, and a lot of the management would, you know, flirt with the team members. You know, they formed their own little clique, and I saw that coming a mile away, and I didn't like it. In fact, they wanted me, among a couple other hard-working individuals in the department, to take on the bulk of the work. And for a while there, I was stupid, and I did. And I found real quick that I'm doing more work for the same amount of pay. I'm doing their work while they're slacking off and doing nothing, while I'm getting paid the same amount of pay. No promotion, no extra money, no this or that. The company started slowly going downhill. No incentives to come into work, no incentives for a lot of things. And I'm probably preaching to the choir with probably 99% of jobs out there. And hold on, I'm not just bitching, okay? I'm going somewhere with this. About how I got out of it and why I think you should too.
I'm ahead of you. But man, I ain't gonna lie, I might have to probably go back if this YouTube shit don't work.
The company, the management got so bad from top down that my wife actually worked there too for almost 20 years. She got me in. She worked there for 20 years. I was there for 12. She was there for 20. And she even saw it because she put in to be a manager. Now, like I said, she doesn't have any, you know, no bad attendance, no write-ups, no nothing. Squeaky clean, you know, history with the company for 20 years. I had squeaky clean attendance across the board, and no strikes on me, no write-ups or nothing. You know, I was a hard worker, I thought, and she was a hard worker. We got stuff done. And, you know, and it's just unfortunate that the management, even though my wife wanted to become a manager at one point, they were promoting the wrong people.
Usually does. That's what usually happens.
It was the women that was going around sleeping around with the other managers and that were wearing hoochie shit.
That's usually what it happens, man. And again, I'm not knocking it down, you know, but I'm gonna call that out, you know.
We're getting promoted. And my wife obviously ain't like that. And so she put in for manager 3 fucking times. 3 fucking times she put in for manager. And they denied her every fucking time. Meanwhile, they're promoting women that are sleeping around, women that are flirting with other managers, wearing hoochie shit, running equipment off the dock, and doing all these just tons of shit that they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. But somebody who dedicated 20 fucking years to your company with a squeaky clean record, who's been in all other departments.
I talked about this too, like how I've been passed up for jobs because they would rather hire a chick versus me, and usually like a hot chick, you know, or better looking. And I understand that if it's a customer based job where, you know, you're trying to boost sales, you know, obviously, like I said, I've been in the bar industry, and hot bartenders get customers in, you know. So I understand that. But in fields where you're not dealing with customers at all, like dispatch, I applied for a dispatch position, and you're not dealing with any like face to face. It's you calling people on the phone and on the radio. I don't understand why I got passed up on that one. I mean, I know that the people in the office wanted to see that chick there, and versus seeing me, even though I was way more qualified. And I think she ended up leaving not too soon after, because I've heard that they've gone through multiple people. But yeah, I've been there so many times, and like I mentioned before in one of my videos, Home Depot. The cashiers, they wanted female cashiers. They did not want a male cashier. I don't understand that, because you're not I've been a Home Depot customer for like a long time. I'm not trying to flirt or anything. I'm just buying my stuff and going home or going to the job. I could care less if it's a female checking out or a dude at the checkout. I'm just trying to pay and go.
Every other fucking department. She knew the work of every other fucking department. You turned her down 3 fucking times. And you hire the hookers of the company. Or you promote the hookers of the company. What a slap in the fucking face, man. What a slap in the fucking face.
Oh damn. That's how I was in the military too, man. A lot. I don't want to say a lot, but a couple instances I've seen that women who would sleep with superiors to get, if not promotions, to get benefits of better, less work, better work environment, better, better everything, a better life, you know. So I've seen it in the military, and I'm trying to see where else I've seen this. I'm not sure where else. Just the military. Most jobs I've worked, besides the bar industry, they're kind of heavily male dominated. Like when I worked in construction or on an oil rig, or even over here at the port when I was tying up ships, it was all guys. So, but when I did work in certain jobs, like I said, you can sleep your way to the top. It's in certain career fields.
Hey, see that thing up there? That's the Banished Shadow gun magnet, and you can get one for free today.
I don't need
Show you
one.
how it works.
Not only that, but it was just, I got tired of being used. I got so tired of being used for what? For no one's.
I think that's what the average American feels like. I want to say the average American male. Like we feel like men feel like we've been used. We've been lied to, and we're just fed up, man. That's I think that's part of the reason why Trump got elected. It's not that he was a good candidate or anything. It's more than the lines that he reached to that market of people who are just fed up of getting screwed over and everything. And I'm aware that all politicians are for themselves. When I never bought into Trump, because at the end of the day, Trump's going to be for Trump. I don't care who you are. You'll never convince me that he's not all about making his life and everything about it, making everything about him. And just like pretty much most politicians. So I don't ever believe anything they're trying to sell me at the end of the day. But I could see that a lot of people did believe him, and it's many that they're just angry. They're angry at being broke, being living paycheck to paycheck, and having a government that really doesn't really give a damn about its people. And I say this as a veteran who's been unemployed for a long, long time.
However, other than to work more harder, catch other people's red lights. It was like red light fucking district up in that motherfucker. For some of y'all who don't know what red light means, is that the conveyor belts have so much product on them that it's getting backed up. That I ended up having to go up to these red lights because other lazy motherfuckers weren't doing their job, and it's like the lane exploded and fucking boxes are falling off the fucking line and shit. And I'm trying to go in there and fix their shit, taking on the responsibility of the managers and some of their work to get their workload, some of their workload off their back, so their managers and their IOs aren't jumping down their back. In the meantime, half those motherfuckers are standing at their computer, ain't doing shit. Walking around, not helping. Flirting around with other team members. Sitting in their fucking office. Making themselves look busy.
Oh yeah.
And like I said,
That's the trick to life. Is just look busy. Otherwise, you'll hear, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
it's not like tier. I mean, the next level up would have been, because you got team members, and that's it. Team members, managers, and above them were IOs, inbound, outbound, management, and then maintenance.
That's why when I work construction, like I would always have something in my hand, because when you're taking a break, you're never supposed to take breaks. So I would always have like a broom or something, and the boss man comes, or the foreman, push that broom, and it was just me, everybody around me. We all had something, and so as soon as they pass by, all right, back to you just gotta look busy.
And then obviously you got corporate and shit like that. But if you're just a bottom of the barrel team member, y'all get paid the fucking same. It don't matter if you've been there 2 years or 20 years. Y'all's getting paid the same. And I dedicated 12 fucking years to this company, man. 12 fucking years. My wife put in 20 fucking years. For what? For fucking what? These companies don't give a shit. You can die tomorrow and they'll have a moment of silence over their PA, if you're lucky. If you were on their side, on their good side, no matter how long you were there, you'll get maybe a minute of fucking silence and then they replace you the same day. There's no incentive to work at these warehouse jobs anymore. And it's not just because of the lazy people that they're bringing in. And this is true. I've seen it across the board at this job, at this warehouse for 12 years. And my wife's seen it for 20 years. They bring in the lazy people, and all they do is sit around on their phones, talking, bullshitting around, not getting the job done. And this isn't just Gen Z. This is fucking millennials, Gen Xers, baby boomers. They're all fucking not working. None of them are fucking working. And you got maybe 10% of the workforce in there is doing 90% of the fucking work for the same fucking pay. I took on a lot of the roles of management, doing startup meetings and shit. Well, that was my own fault. But like I said, my mind wasn't right because it was a good job for the first few years. It was worth going into back in 2010. And then shit just changed with management. And it starts at the top. Management want to say, well, if we could only get good workers in, that's like 50% of the freaking problem, man. Half the problem, if not more the problem, is them, the management. They're the reason why people don't want to work for them. Because they don't hold others accountable, and they sure as hell don't hold that same standard and hold themselves accountable. They don't want to get in there and help you out. I'm not saying all of them. There was a few managers in that company over 12 years. I can count on probably one or two hands out of hundreds, though. 10% were worth a damn. And those 10% of those managers that were worth a damn were overworked themselves, and their hands were tied. And there was shit they couldn't do.
Alright, I think the dude said enough. I'm gonna cut it right there. That's actually one thing about meetings too, is make them as short as possible, because that way because they're gonna tell you what the most important shit is up front, and everything else is just BS. So make them really, really short. And this dude, this is a 22-minute video. He said the majority already. Now he's just gonna rant. So with all this being said, yeah, ain't no loyalty. That's nowadays what we have the term quiet quitting. You know, you work the bare minimum. You're not gonna slave away. You're gonna move from job to job. The reason why you move job to job is because it pays more. You can stay in one job, earn a certain wage. You're not gonna get a raise. You quit that job for another job, you instantly get a pay raise. You know, and then like if you were to go back to your other job, you would have another pay raise, because you're like, well, I'm not coming back there unless I can pay a certain amount, you know, and they'll pay it, you know, because now they got to compete with the job market. The thing is, most of the time when you get hired, you get hired at a certain wage that does not keep up with inflation. So if they got you at a good price, the company isn't trying to lose money, but they know they can't hire new workers at the old price. They gotta keep up with inflation. That's why new employees always get paid more. So it pays to not have loyalty. That's why companies do. I did a video of a bunch of like CEOs arguing against quiet quitting. They don't like that because now they gotta pay more. They gotta pay realistic wages. They can't get away with screwing people over and having them work and do extra stuff and with the promise of a raise and the promise of a good pay or a payday, you know, because nobody's buying that anymore. We've all seen it time and time again. 2008 financial crisis, 2020, and it's all on social media. We see it. It's from coast to coast, globally. So now that you know, what are you gonna do? My plan's YouTube and crypto. Maybe something else pops up, but for now, this is this. I hope I don't gotta go back on the job market pretty soon. I have enough money saved up that I got a couple months. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. And if crypto hits, I'll be really good. Okay, that's it for this video.